Hi all, I thought we should have a look at another Instructive Endgame, this time from a Grandmaster game, super strong Grandmasters. Vladimir Kramnik playing white against Magnus Carlsen playing black in the London Classic of December 2010. So, during the game, which was quite eventful, Kramnik, had achieved, quite a crushing position, out of which, currently he's a piece up in this position. Now you'll notice black's got the potentially dangerous outside pass pawn. White's got double pawns which are potentially not that effective. Okay. Now here, Magnus actually attacked the front of the double pawns, and then there was a check, king c6, and now we see something which is like super cunning, which I think exploits intuitively the property of the bishop, which I think is the theme for this video, that the bishop is not great as a continual monitor for a dangerous passed pawn. As we saw in my club game, it seems once you get that issue, just another issue, and the opponent, is either going to maybe lose or draw, even if they should have won. Is the bishop, good at continually monitoring passed pawns? It's a bit stuck there, isn't it? Okay, so we see knight c3 from Vladimir, and now a really provocative move from Magnus. He plays a move which basically invites a combination. He plays rook c5. So I guess if I give you 10 seconds, you can spot a simple combination here to simplify the position down. Okay, so I'll give you 10 seconds starting from now. Okay, if you want to simplify the position down, you've got the option here. So at move 62, Vladimir took that option. The thing is, what did we say about the properties? The bishop's not brilliant at eyeing, keeping guard of protected passed pawns, and white has these double pawns. So we're going to see these elements come to the fore now, after this forceful move, rook takes d6. So is this a super bit of cunning play on Magnus's part, or was it just a blunder to allow rook takes d6? Well, king takes d6, knight e4 check. Okay, so everything's cleared out now, apart from the bishop. That's the only piece apart from the kings on the board. King f2. Now Magnus's king comes quite swiftly to d4 here. Notice it's grabbing a lot of squares, creating that wall from the white king. The white king, however, does have f3. Okay, king f3, and now the king goes now to d3 as if it wants to grab these squares and maybe grab hold of this guy. So if this king wants to wander around, it's going to be at a price of losing these two from behind. Now this bishop is really not that useful. These pawns are on dark squares as well. It's not useful for attacking opponent's pawns at all at the moment. Okay, so g4 was played. The train has two carriages. Okay, but king d2, just waiting around to pick up the train from the last carriage, maybe even like this. Okay, bishop e6, a waiting move is at least one thing the bishop can do. If a2, just snap it up. But now black, Magnus just waits, king d3. Now we see king g3. Okay, now here was a key moment actually in the game. I have some technical analysis here, which I think is well known worldwide now, that white has a very problematic study-like win here, with very, very delicate waiting moves and strange looking moves. It's like endgame as a science. If you've seen that analysis, fine. If you haven't, I don't know. I could give you 10 seconds to try and spot what you would think is a winning move here, if you would like. Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds now. Well, apparently there was a win with g5, so giving up one pawn with the idea now of keeping that king on d3, not moving the king here, but playing g3. Okay, king d4, this is very problematic. King g4, attacking that g5 pawn. King e5, bishop moves back, king e4. King takes g5, but remember, this is really, really risky, this pawn. King f3, but king h4 here seems to give white a winning advantage. Incredibly. So that was the key to winning the position. If we add a Qd6 here, that should confirm with a high evaluation. It's 1.47 now, 2.78 depth 19. So example, King E3, King G4, King E4. And now specific moves with the bishop, actually, not with the king in this position. So we got the opposition. But the thing is, this pawn's a liability. If we play King G5 here, it's a dead draw. King F3, dead draw. Or is it? No. G4, King E4. Let's follow this through. Maybe this is winning now. Or is there a way to escape the black king harassing that pawn? You see, this is why this endgame is incredibly tricky, because this bishop is just sitting there a bit useless in general, and white cannot make progress. The engine's actually utterly confused by this particular position, giving it its 2.78, but not able seemingly to make any progress whatsoever. Basically, white is committed to defending that pawn from Magnus, and it's kind of embarrassing humiliation for the bishop on A2. So if we go back to where Annis thought this was winning, so let's give this line with this opposition point here. Okay, now let's choose a bishop move instead. Alright, now this looks more convincing for the engine. It's not just 2, it's plus 10.39 with a bishop move. Bishop B3, bishop F7, bishop E6 even, or bishop B1. No, bishop B1 is back to 2.78. There's 3 moves here, believe it or not, in this position. Bishop B3, bishop F7, and bishop E6. Let's choose bishop B3. Okay, bishop B3. Alright, so where do we want to move the king? Let's choose King E3. Okay. And now not a king move again, another bishop move. And again, I'm starting to be confused. I'm wondering, we should get a table base on this, because this engine's useless for analysing this position. We really need a table base. There doesn't seem to be progress being made here. Okay, I mean we're back to square one, or are we? Somehow this looks different, as though oh dear. I think we're going to turn off the engine here. This is getting ridiculous. We're going to make a note of this position here, though. King G3. Okay. So was played, but we're going to have a look at this position. This position here in a table base, an endgame table base. I'm giving up for the first time with Rybka for relying on it for analysing this position. All right. So I'm going to make a note of the Fen string and back soon. Okay. Okay, this is just to check the winning line with the G5 pawn sack. This is the first position I can actually find which existed in the table base. Okay, when the G5 pawn's given up, we have this more simplified position. So we see here now that a lot of black's candidate moves they lose. So let's choose King F3. Now look at these draws. Talking about needing to play precisely. So King H4. Well, actually, okay. So basically, we're saying G4 draws here because the others can be ruled out. We don't want to lose that pawn. So King H4. Okay. Let's say King E3, King G4, King E4. We have that opposition again with just white having gotten rid of one of his pawns. Okay. Now there's a few wins. Okay. So here. Bishop E6, okay, is the shortest win. King E4. So we're going back now with the bishop to a2, king e3. Oh, sorry. It would help if I choose the right move. So the bishop goes to b1 now. Okay, that cuts off this diagonal, so it cuts off king e4. Right. Otherwise, we're going around in circles. Now this is the key move then. Bishop to b1 here. So let's choose, say, king e2. Now there's a winning 23 moves with king f4. So king d2. 22 moves with bishop a2 again. Okay, so king going to I want to make it go to d3. How does that lose in 19 moves? Finally here we play g4. Okay, king to d4, say. Play king f5. It's starting to look more as though this is winning. King f3. Okay, g6. Yeah, the port. Now we can just see king f7 takes g7, and that's the end of the game. So if I just input the original fen in, though, that was fascinating. All the draws that were available, just with here in this position. That if we had played king e3 and we just played g4, that would be a draw. Because, you know, king f3, the black king cannot be allowed to put pressure on the g pawn. White's not going to get that opportunity. So so that's one of the key things about this, that these are all draws now. Every single move here is a draw. It's a totally drawn position. So this bishop's kind of useless here. Okay, so that's absolutely fascinating endgame. I think you'll agree. So a lot of people thought, oh, did Kramnik really fluff that up? But it actually needed quite high precision. So let's actually go back now in the third part to what happened in the game. Okay. All right. See you in a bit. Okay. Back to the game. So king g3 was played in the game, not g5. So this was the moment where g5 could have been played. King e3, king h4. Now Magnus plays king f2, so he's going for that rear pawn. And now we see the move g6. Okay. King h3. And now a lock in for that king g5, embarrassingly. King h2, king f1. So the bishop is not the most useful bishop in the world ever. There's no pawns of its colour to attack. These are all on dark squares. It has to also got monitoring duties, which in combination with other issues makes for bad results generally, I think. So bishop e6, king f2, bishop c4. So it's just monitoring that pawn, tied down to that pawn. And Magnus is able just to sort of move his king around now. It doesn't matter about time pressure. It's Fisher increment. This game can go on for days if needed. Fisher increment. So basically here Magnus, he doesn't need to even take any pawn, not that it was offered anyway, but here a draw was agreed, move 85. So a bit of drama here, basically, from this seemingly provocative position where Magnus had played rook c5. We see a more vivid demonstration here of the bishop not being a brilliant monitor for fast pawns. So an invitation for rook takes d6, and then a seemingly problem-like win situation where the critical position to try and win the position was actually to get rid of one of the pawns, to cause a fracture in black's pawn structure actually. So really, you're not just getting rid of one of your pawns. Black's structure has been compromised, so he can't set up that kind of fortress like was set up in the game. So interesting stuff, really. That basically here it still needs problem-like moves, even this position, you know, to cut off the king, and then eventually start pushing the pawn, as the table base showed earlier in the video. Okay, comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.